What's up, everybody? Renfail here with some more Dune Awakening, and in today's guide, it's all about the controller for those of you who play on the controller like I do. Specifically, the radial menu and the issue people have had with trying to select an item and it not registering what you're doing. There has been some feedback around this particular feature, not necessarily working all the time. I was one of the people who was talking about how I didn't really, I wanted them to be able to add a feature where I could just, because right now the way it works is once you open up the radial menu, um, if you move that button up, it just disappears. Like eventually it goes away. Now, if you're in an out of combat scenario, this works okay. But the problem is that when you're in a combat scenario, sometimes you'll be trying to switch and you'll go quick and it won't register your thing. And that's because I didn't know this. One of the things that I had said was I wish they would add it so that when we moved it, it would stay on the thing and not move away, and it would stay registered. That way I have time to go to it and it stays on that selection. There actually is an option which I discovered this morning purely by chance. If you go into the game settings and go into the gameplay section and scroll down here, there is a section. I gotta find it again now. Controller input lock mode. So the default is flick and forget. No slot is highlighted by default. Returning the thumbstick to the center will not unhighlight the currently highlighted slot. Or excuse me, sorry, I read that wrong. The default is flick and forget. Returning the thumbstick to the center will unhighlight the currently highlighted slot, and this is affected by the controller forget delay setting, which you can adjust. But you can switch this to flick and remember, which says that returning the thumbstick to the center will not unhighlight the currently highlighted slot. Let's confirm that change because that does exactly what I wanted it to do, which is now when I open up the radial menu and I move to something, I'll show this in real time, it stays there. Oh, magic. And then when you release, it does the thing. This is way better. For those of you who play with controllers, trust me, this is way better. It actually recognizes my input now, even in combat scenarios. This is way better than the flick and forget. The problem with flick and forget, I think, is that they're still adjusting. And again, some of this is adjusting the timing of things. But the flick and remember, honestly, for me, it's working so much better. So for those of you who want a fix to the radial menu, go into the settings, look for that, change it to flick and remember, and you'll no longer have that problem with the items accidentally unselecting because you didn't specifically hold. Because a lot of the times what happens in combat scenarios is you're trying to run around the battlefield, and sometimes because the left thumbstick was also controlling this movement, you would sometimes get a little confused with trying, at least for me, getting confused while moving and then accidentally clicking over and not selecting the thing specifically. Whereas in this case, you could just stop, pause, go out, go, done. It stays unreleased. And so now it's a much more, I think, methodical, slow maneuver to switch things around. And now it's getting really close to as good as in terms of switching through like it is with the keyboard. Because mouse and keyboard, you could just cycle through with the numbers, or you can do the mouse. Matter of fact, I could probably just scroll over here, like, and do like the mouse scroll wheel is what I'm doing right now over on the keyboard, and that scrolls through. But this is just as fast now as long as you have this set up. So, yeah, what you're looking for is in the settings. Once again, it's in the gameplay section down towards the bottom. What you're looking for is the controller input lock mode, and put that on flick and remember. Don't forget, if you want to use the controller flick and forget, you can actually have this, you can adjust the setting on this as well, which is the time to wait before the currently highlighted slot unhighlights. Right now I feel like it's too high for the default, but you can adjust that if you want to stay on the flick and forget. But for me, flick and remember works amazing. I highly recommend it. Switch it over. You'll have a lot more fun with the radial menu. Enjoy it. If you found this guide useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams around 4:35 a.m. Central Time. And if you check the playlist down below, there are a ton of other guides that you can use in your Dune Awakening journeys. So hopefully you'll enjoy. Go forth, adventure. Don't get hit by the worm. Bless the maker.